Congressman, it's good to have you back with us on BBC News. And I just want to put to you what we heard from Senator Ricketts there, which is that this war was essential to stop Iran from being able to build a nuclear weapon and to protect America and the world.
Look, thank you, first of all, for having me back on. Second, I very much disagree with what the senator has said. There was no imminent threat to the United States. This was not a necessary war. This is a war of choice. There was no consultation with our allies. And frankly, we are less safe. We're in a worse strategic position now than we were before this war started. Having spent north of $50 billion, lost 13 soldiers, and hundreds more wounded. And so the Strait of Hormuz remains closed. And frankly, the only thing worse than the ceasefire, the starting point for negotiations for the ceasefire, which are the Iranian 10-point demands, is the war continuing under this administration that I have very little confidence has the ability to manage it appropriately.
So, Congressman, you'll know the counter from President Trump and his team would be that the U.S. and Israel have been able to completely degrade Iran's military, its air force, its navy, as we know, degrade its ballistic missile program, and now perhaps can negotiate a deal with no enrichment of uranium in Iran. So what's your response to that?
Again, I'm highly skeptical because I think first thing is we have to focus on what the tactical and operational military objectives are, which are achievable. We've done a lot to degrade their current capability, but not the ability for them to rebuild. I mean, this is a large country of 90 million people, advanced in manufacturing, highly educated. And so what we've done is sort of mowed the grass for now. Less than a year after the president said he had already obliterated the nuclear program. So, you know, some of these things absolutely do not make sense. And the strategic goal, if the strategic goal was to eliminate the Iranian regime, that has not happened. If the strategic goal was to keep the Strait of Hormuz open, that has obviously not happened. In fact, the starting point for negotiation is that the Iranians have control. And oh, by the way, we've driven the Iranians closer to our competitors in China and Russia. In fact, there's a report that came out earlier today that the Iranians have been using Chinese satellite data to help them target American assets and the assets, including those of our allies in the region. So overall, again, I would say we are less safe than we were, and there's really not a good exit strategy.
There was a vote in the Senate today that failed, that would have required the president to get authorization from Congress before any further strikes on Iran. It was clear, pretty clear at least, that it would fail. So why is it important for Democrats to continue to put these votes to the floor?
It's important because we have to have accountability. The administration has still not demonstrated what the rationale was for the war. I very much disagree with their definition of imminent because, again, the administration claimed that we had obliterated their nuclear capability. So the rationale was not present at the start of the conflict. And now that we have started the conflict, how do we exit the conflict in a way that does not hurt us and our allies, that continues to maintain our critical relationships in the region and with our NATO allies? We need accountability and not a rubber stamp. And unfortunately, that's what you get with my Republican colleagues. We will have another vote in the House of Representatives, and I'm more hopeful about the prospects in the House of Representatives. Several of my Republican colleagues have claimed that deploying boots on the ground is a red line. And although we have not invaded Iran, when we had to go in and rescue our downed pilots, we had to put boots on the ground in order to do that. And so I think we've already crossed that red line.
Okay, Congressman Vindman, thank you for joining us tonight on BBC News.